Um. Oh my gosh, I can't even do it without fucking cracking up. All right, what's going on, YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 build video. Now, shout out to the DoD Disciples of Doom, like always. Now, this is going to be my title update 6.1 raid build. I am Kamikazevondoom. If you guys enjoy this in any way, shape, or form, make sure you hit that thumbs up. If you have any questions at all, let me know in the comment section below. And finally, if you are new to this channel, subscribe and mash that notification bell. That way you get notified each and every time I bring you guys another Division 2 video. Now, this is the title update 6.1 raid build. I made this for survivability purposes and also to do flawless raid runs, because everyone knows that if you do have like a little hiccup, it's nice to have a little cushion. And for me, that perfectly unbreakable is a nice little cushion. Now, before I get into all that, let's start off from the top. Specialization. I'm using the sharpshooter. Reason for that is I want to use the TAC 50 on Razorback. I also want to have the headshot damage to people in my group. I also want the sidearms. Sidearms pretty legit. And yeah, I actually like the TAC 50. For the raid Operation Dark Hours, the top two specializations to use is either the sharpshooter or the survivalist. Survivalist mainly for those that are on generators for Razorback, and then the sharpshooter for the TAC 50 and all that other stuff. And yes, it does help out your aces and eights teammates as well. But alright, so there you go. Sharpshooter, I love it. Going for the weapons, I have the Eagle Bearer as my primary, the SVD as my secondary, and the sharpshooter sidearm for my sidearm. Now, if you do not have the Eagle Bearer, here is the Black Market AK. So it'll be 30k base on this build. Here's the FAMAS, roughly 22.5k for this build. Not bad. You can definitely use a P416, an M4, FAMAS, AK. If you're going to use that as your primary, you want to switch up your secondary. Use the Merciless for the explosive damage. Use the Nemesis for the headshot damage. I mean, you could even use these and then have the Eagle Bearer as your secondary for that protected fire. But that's up to you guys. But for this one, I'm using the Eagle Bearer as the primary. Mine has 27.2k base damage. And that's about all she wrote on that. Now for the secondary, I am using the Paratrooper SVD. Now this one's pretty sweet. I'm sitting at 71.8k base damage. I have Ranger, Accurate, and Cannon. I would rather have Allegro, obviously, but finding one with this high of base damage is really far and few between. As far as the mods go for the SVD, I have damage to elites for the hollow sight at 8%. I have that tightly packed MAC for the 5+ rounds. I have the angled grip for the 10% stability, and the muzzle brake for more damage to elites. And then to the sidearm, I am using the Specialization sidearm. This is the Sharpshooter's 93R. 11k base damage, ranger, distance, and overlap. So while holstered, whatever weapon I'm using gains more weapon handling. There are your weapons. So before I get into the actual gear items for the build, let's do a little overview of the build. This is a 9-12-0 build. This is 9 into reds, 12 into blues, and 0 into yellows. With that, my primary base damage, 27.2k. The armor, just above 400 at 401.4k. My health, 103.3k. So with the armor and the health, yeah, it goes up to just under 505k HP. Now for the skill power, that's pretty much nothing, but I did add a couple little mods here and there for it. Now looking at the build, I am running 3 Gila Guard, 1 Fenris, 1 Badger Tough, and 1 Alp Summit. Starting off with the mask. Fenris mask. This one has a red and a blue for the attributes. I rolled 55% damage to elites, and it has 18% hazard protection. It also came with hard hitting, giving me more damage to elites, and the Fenris brand set bonus gives me 10% AR damage. Going to the backpack, Gila backpack. The Gila brand set bonuses I get out of this build, I get the 5% total armor, the 20% hazard protection, and also the pulse skill power. For the attributes, I have 2 blues and a red, total armor at 8%, weapon damage at 4.5%, and then I rolled 25,500 more armor on there. The talents, hardened, which gives me 15% armor, and then spark. Damaging an enemy with a skill or an explosive gives me 15% weapon damage for 15 seconds. That requires 9 or more reds. That's why this build has 9 reds. Now for the backpack, it does come with a red and blue mod slot. So I threw on there weapon damage and AR damage. And then for the blue mod slot, I chose armor and total armor. Down to the gloves. Alp Summit climbing gloves. For the brand set bonus, I get the skill haste. Attribute, I rolled 13% AR damage, and it came with devastating, giving me 5% more weapon damage. And with it being climbing gloves, I do get that red mod slot, so then I threw more weapon and AR damage. Going to the chest piece, this is the 0F's chest piece, the named Badger Tough. For the Badger Tough brand set, you get the damage to elites at 7%. With it being the 0F's, you get the talent Perfectly Unbreakable. So for Perfectly Unbreakable, once your armor is depleted, you regain 100% of that armor back. And then whatever med kits or armor kits you use for the next 7 seconds, they don't count. Now you can use this Perfectly Unbreakable proc every minute. So once it procs, you have to hack 60 seconds. It's not going to proc again. Now that requires 11 or more blues. Now this one came with 2 blues and a red. I have health at 17,270. I rolled 22% total armor, and it came with 9% weapon damage. Now this chest piece also comes with a blue and red mod slot, so I threw on there weapon damage, health damage, and AR damage. And then for the blue mod, I threw on there armor and more total armor. Down to the holster, Gila holster. Has 2 blues for the attributes, 15.5% health, and 45,124 health. The mods, 2 red mods, weapon damage and AR damage for both of those. Now, if you really want to, you can keep, the way it is, or try to go for crit chance if you want. But just remember that you do need the 9 reds, and you do need the 11 or more blues. Going to the Gila Kneepads. This one has total armor for the attribute at 10%, and it came with insulated, 30% hazard protection. Now Gila Kneepads come with 2 blue mod slots, so I threw in there as much armor and total armor as I possibly could. Now for the skills, there are multiple skills you can use, but I highly recommend the Revive Hive as a must for at least one of your skills. You could use the Chem Launcher, you could use Striker Drone, Defender Drone, Turret, whatever you want for the other skill, but I highly recommend you guys at least have the Reviver Hive as one of those, because everyone knows that something fishy might happen in the raid and you might randomly go down, and to save everyone heartache, you have that Revive Hive. That way you can pick yourself up and not jeopardize the raid as a whole. So for the other skill, whatever you want. Now for the grenade, it needs to either be a frag grenade or a concussion grenade. The reason for that is Razorback. For the generators, you need either a frag grenade or a concussion grenade, and if they were to run out of grenades for any weird reason, you can run up there and throw a grenade yourself, depending on what position you're at. And that is my TU6.1 raid build. Pretty self-explanatory, but let's finish it off in the stat sheet. Starting off in the weapon stats, this is for the Eagle Bearer. I have 27,244k weapon damage. This comes with 10% crit chance, 40% crit damage, and 55% headshot damage. For the offense tab, I have 5% weapon handling, 26.5% all weapon damage, and 60% AR damage. That brings my damage bonus up to a total of 86.5%. Now match that with the 87% damage to elites I get from the Eagle Bearer, and it's a really nice day. Now for the secondary, if I pop that one on real quick, the Eagle Bearer does not come with damage to elites, so it won't show the full damage to elites on it. So right here you see the Eagle Bearer is at 87%, and then when I switch it over to the Paratrooper, and then all of a sudden I'm at 100% damage to elites. So if you run a P416, an AK, FAMAS, what have you, you will have 100% damage to elites. But then remember, when you do use the Eagle Bearer, it does come with crit chance instead of damage to elites, so it's going to drop you down to 87. Now let's finish out in the defense tab. I have 401,430 armor, 103,314 health, and I have 68% hazard protection. All of those together with the damage, you will have a well-rounded raid build that you will be able to knock out the Dark Hours raid in no time. If you guys need help in any way, shape, or form and you're on Xbox, hit me up, add me, send me a message, let me know what's up, and I will be glad to help. You just got to reach out, and yeah, hope you can see me. Alright, I am Kamikazevondoom, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.